Surfing. As long as there have been waves, there have been people riding it. The sport has been around for as long as anyone can remember, and many believe that this sport of kings originated here in Hawaii. The first Polynesians were exceptional watermen and women who brought with them a deep love and knowledge of the ocean. It is said that the art of he'enalu, wave sliding, was perfected, if not invented, in these islands. When Captain Cook arrived in Hawaii, surfing was deeply rooted in many centuries of Hawaiian legend and culture. Special chants were written to christen new surfboards, to bring in big waves, and to give courage to surfers. There were three types of Hawaiian surfboards commonly used. The olo, up to 24 feet in length, thick in the middle, thinner towards the edges. The kiko'o, 18 feet in length, good for rough surf but very hard to handle. And the alaya, reserved for chiefs, 8 feet long, thin and wide in the front, tapering towards the back. Several of Hawaii's chiefs, Kaumuali'i of Kauai, King Kamehameha, Queen Ka'ahumanu, and Princess Kaiulani were all known for their surfing ability. Surfing also played a part in the annual 3-month celebration known as Makahiki. The great god Lono was the patron of those festivities. From mid-October through mid-January, the Hawaiians stopped work, relaxed, and passed much of their time dancing, feasting, and surfing. In the year 1778, the art, sport, and religion of surfing had reached a peak. European contact was not good for Hawaii. Surfing was frowned upon, and the sport fell into decline for more than 150 years. Ironically, it was two Caucasians and a native Hawaiian who were instrumental in the rebirth of surfing. Jack London, chairman of the Outrigger Canoe Club in 1915, George Freeth, a famous California surfer, and Duke Kahanamoku. Duke was one of Hawaii's best-known ocean watermen, a beach boy, and one of the founders of the Hui Nalu Club. He won an Olympic gold medal in the 100-meter freestyle in Stockholm and again in Antwerp, 1916. Duke used his fame to introduce the world to the sport of surfing. At this point, surfboards were no longer made directly from logs. In 1946, Bob Simmons covered a sheet of plywood with styrofoam, and here's a sample of his laminate board. Then Pete Peterson took it one step further and developed an all-fiberglass board that is still widely used today. In 1958, the first foam core blank for a surfboard was the brainchild of Hobie Alter and Gordon Clark. Hollywood brought the sport to an even bigger audience. From the late 1950s and beyond, Hollywood loved surfing. Kathy Croner led the way as Gidget, followed by Bikini Beach, Muscle Beach, Ride the Wild Surf, Surf Party, and The Endless Summer. Along with the surf beat came surf fashion. Everybody listened to the Beach Boys, and they wore hang tens. Elvis helped make surfing the fastest growing sport in the world. There was an insatiable appetite for anything surf. Where once there had been dozens of people surfing, now there were thousands. Traditionally, surfboards had been 10 feet or longer, but in 1966, Nat Young showed us a newer, shorter, 9-foot 4-inch board. Thus began the shortboard era. Today's surfers are taking this sport to a whole new level. Professionals like Laird Hamilton and Kona boy Shane Dorian are now going faster and higher than ever by using jet skis to catch monster waves that were impossible to ride just a few years ago. New designs, new materials make for lighter, stronger boards that are quicker and much more responsive in the water. Combine that with an athlete willing to push the limits, and it's anyone's guess as to the future of the sport. Surfing is one of the oldest sports on the planet. What was a thriving part of the Hawaiian culture in 1778 is now a thriving part of the world culture in the 21st century. Surfing is an element of traditional Hawaiian culture that, unlike many other aspects of Hawaiian life, has survived into modern times. The simple task of taking a flat piece of board and launching it on an ocean wave continues to bring joy to millions around the world. The true aloha spirit of giving, surfing is truly a gift from Polynesia to the world.